guys, what's up? It is Preach as always. So today's video is going to be another how to practice sniping video, and I'm going to show you how to set up this game. So what you're going to do, you're going to be playing against bots. You're going to come down to custom games, and you can do this in any Call of Duty, but I recommend doing it in Cold War because Treyarch's system with the bots just seems to work the best. So you are going to go to change map, make sure you're playing on Nuketown. Change mode, you can do team deathmatch or free-for-all. So let's go ahead and go team deathmatch. I feel like that's what most people probably play in the actual game anyway. We're going to go to edit game rules, go to the settings, and you want to be on unlimited time limit and unlimited score limit. Now you can set a limit if you want, but what unlimited does is it allows you to play until you just feel like you're done. Minimap, you can put on constant if you just want to know where everybody's at, if you're just wanting to work on your shot. So that's usually what I do in this, because this is way more about just working on my shot. And the constant helps you start to learn spawns and things like that. So other than that, I don't really change anything in the settings. And then you can save in Cold War this as a game. So you can change the name of it to, you know, Sniper Training 101. Confirm. Now it's a saved game mode, and every time you go into change mode, if you look under My Saved, it'll be there. Sniper Training 101. Alright. Bots and players, what you do is you go in here, and you add, if it's Team Deathmatch, what I do is I add, you know, like 7 bots, alright, and then you go to Move Players, and put as many on the enemy team as it'll allow you. I'm going to put 1 on my team just to give them something else to shoot at, okay? So you want way more enemies than how many of you there is, obviously. That way you get used to shooting faster, all of that. And then that is it for the game. And then we go back out and just hit play, and once we load into the game, I will talk about the things that you're trying to work on within the game itself. Alright guys, so the first thing that I want you to notice is that I miss a couple shots and get a couple hit markers right off the start. And the reason I wanted to leave that in this video is because it's going to show you guys that you're not going to start off when you're coming in cold, haven't done this in a while, haven't shot much, hands are cold, coming home from work, coming home from school, whatever you're doing. Your shot might not be crisp and on point just yet. So it may take a little while in the game to warm up, and that is why earlier I told you, do this on unlimited time, on unlimited kills, because, you know, if it takes you some time to get warmed up, you know, not a big deal. So the biggest things that I want to point out is if you notice on these quick scopes that I'm getting, I am most of the time getting my white dot in the very center of the screen directly on these people before I scope in. That is why on a lot of these shots, I am able to take the shot without having to actually drag or move the scope once I'm aimed down sights. But as you notice on some of these shots where I'm a little bit off, it's just small little adjustments other than that shot right there that I have to make once I'm in the scope. And that is because I'm trying my best to have the enemy in the dead center of the scope every time before I go to take the shot. And what that is going to do is just speed your process up a lot. It is going to make you able to do things a whole lot faster if they are already in the center of your screen, because you can see more, adjust faster, move faster, all of that when you're not aimed down sight. So the last thing you want to do the moment before you take the shot is aim down sight. Do all your centering, all of your aim work, all of that before you actually ADS, and then when you do, you'll be able to take the shot immediately. Now, in the moments when it's not perfect, the closer it is, the better. So the better you get at this, even when you're not perfect, you're going to be closer than you normally would have been, and it's going to be just fine little quick adjustments that you can make in scope and not having to adjust, you know, by 4, 5, 6 feet all the time. And the more you practice this, the better you can get at it. And it's something that those of us that started sniping before we had these white dots on our screen just had to learn to get a feel for. But now Call of Duty basically has given us a built-in cheat code where in the center of your crosshairs you'll see there's a little white dot on your screen, And that tells you right where you're going to scope in with your crosshairs, especially in Cold War. You know, Modern Warfare 2019, you didn't always have that dead center perfect aim, but it was going to be very close, especially close range. It was going to be so insignificant that it wouldn't really matter. You basically were perfect. So the closer you can get to being dead center, the more accurate and the more fast you're going to be on a regular basis. This is harder to do on targets that are a little bit farther away, but if you're good at it, like I said, you're still going to have smaller adjustments to have to make. The other big thing that is important, especially if you're using what I would consider the faster guns, is you can see I'm getting a lot of hit markers there. What you want to be able to do is aim from above the middle of the chest. So middle of the chest to the top of the head. That way you can ensure yourself and guarantee yourself one-shot kills. And this is the perfect place to practice that. There's even a mode, if you wanted to do it, when you go through those settings where you can set up your game to headshots only. So then that way the only kills you can get are headshots. And this is really good practice for making sure you're aiming high enough in the game to where you're going to get a one-shot kill pretty much every time. Something else, and you can see there's a couple plays in this gameplay, I just had one there, that is really good for your centering, in my opinion, is using throwing knives against the bots, because you have to have perfect centering for your throwing knife to hit its target. If you're off just a hair to the left or right, it's going to go flying by them and not do any good. And in my opinion, if you get good enough at it, throwing knives look pretty cool in sniping clips if you hit them, because it's the same concept, you know, being able to have good centering. That leads me to another thing. To me, centering is a whole lot easier in Call of Duty if you stop moving when you shoot. So this is not normally good advice with people running around with SMGs and stuff. You use your movement to avoid getting shot. And you can still do that with sniping, but you want to try to use that movement between your shots. Now, I jump shot a lot. I'll slide shoot. I'll strafe shoot with a sniper. But the more still you can be standing in the moment you take the shot, the more accurate you're going to be. And then you want to try to use your movement, you're jumping, you're getting away from their shots in between your shots. One of the biggest things you can do that I've noticed has helped me a lot in avoiding dying, especially in these newer Call of Duties with faster time to kill, is strafe the opposite way of the guy who's shooting at you. So if you're looking at him and he's moving to your right, what you want to do between shots while you're rechambering a new round is move to your left. All right, and that's something you can practice with the bots. You may not see how that's going to result well in gameplay because these bots can't shoot anything anyway, but it's something good to get used to. If they're moving right, you move left. If they're moving left, you move right. It's just going to make them trying to hit you with their shots that much harder. Okay, so that's something that you should probably work on, is how to strafe and how to move within the gunfight. Something else that you can really learn when you're doing this, especially if you're doing team deathmatch or some other team-based mode that you're probably going to be playing when you play actual Call of Duty, so hardpoint, domination, things like that, is if you have the constant radar on while you're doing this, you can actually learn the spawn points by watching your minimap. You can learn a lot. When you get a group of kills, watch the minimap, see where they spawn based on where you are, where your teammates are, what objectives are being held, things like that. And understanding those spawn points will really help you in your sniping in Call of Duty. So centering, movement, all of those things are really important, but there's another really important and I think overlooked aspect that you can really learn while you're doing this bot training like this. And that is your rechamber speed on every gun. So when you shoot, the gun has to rechamber another round, whether that's through a bolt action, a lever action, or some other assembly, whatever gun you're using, it's got to rechamber another round, and that takes time. The more you can use one gun and get used to how fast it rechambers, the faster you can shoot a second and third and fourth and fifth shot. So use these guns and pay close attention and try to get a feel for I shot, it rechambered, and I'm ready to shoot again. You want to be ADSing and ready to hit that trigger the moment that bolt closes or whatever happens to rechamber your round. You want to be ready to shoot again immediately. That's how you get these faster kill feeds. And in a game with the Treyarch makes, you know, the kill feed usually runs really fast. So if you want to get a 5 on, you've got to be really, really, really snappy. The only way to do that with all singles, so no collats, really is to be shooting your next shot the moment a bullet is in the chamber again. So those are the things you need to practice. Work on your centering, work on your strafing, work on your aim level as far as the height, and work on understanding your timings. And do this for a long time. Don't go in and shoot 30 bots and, you know, now I'm good to go. Shoot hundreds, shoot thousands, get it to where all of this is second nature and you don't even have to think about it, and it will make you a better sniper. I promise you it will. If you do all this and it works for you, it doesn't work for you either way, let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work for you. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, turn those bell notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Reach out.